Well, up on the bench again is another Denon. This one's a pretty large powerhouse receiver, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't done any research to it yet. Come on, what the heck? There you go. It's a AVR-2802. AVR-2802. Haven't even tried to... Really, right now? Seriously. Focus. There we go. Haven't even powered it on yet. Let's go ahead and power it on. I have no speakers connected, so I'm not sure what it's going to do. AV surround receiver. And I do get a speaker relay click. That is a good sign. Well, I guess I will connect speakers and an antenna and see if we can tune an FM station. Okay, so here's the front of the unit. I did connect speakers. I do have an FM antenna connected, plus I have an MP3 player connected. So we'll power this thing on. Digital AV surround receiver. Input 1, or input tuner. I'm tuned to a local station. You can see that it does say stereo and tuned, but I have no audio. But I'll do this in real time. Just wait a moment. And you can see the volume is at minus 52. I'll put it up just a little bit. Minus 40 right there. Hopefully you can actually see. I can't see the cell phone is over the top of it, but I think you can see it on the camera. And you can see I have speakers A and B connected at the moment. I only have speakers connected to A. Nothing is connected to B at this time. But I have them A and B switched on. Still waiting. Still waiting. I should put up a stopwatch, I guess. Yeah, I've got nothing. Minus 30. Long and withdrawn process. Huh. Well, last time I tried this, after about 20 seconds, the audio came back on. And not going to be this kind this time, obviously. But I'm willing to wait if you are. Well, it's been like 2 minutes so far. Okay, well, let me tell you what I know so far. I did not get audio unless I had A and B engaged at the same time, but check this out. If I turn off B, there's no speaker relay click. I don't think... Well, there it's working. Why is there such a delay? So with B I get nothing, and previously with A and B is the only way I could get audio out of this thing. Still no click. And then it works. Now I get a click when I turn off A. Turn A back on. I should have audio by now. And still nothing. Something really strange going on here. Because I should get a relay click when I turn off B or turn on B. Just the switch. I can definitely hear a click with A. Click, click, click. I mean, I get the contact switch click, and the light does change. But with A, And it says headphone only in the display right there. Still no audio. And then like you saw, it just started working. I don't get it. Oh, this one's going to be fun. I'd rather have a blown output, just have to rebuild one channel, than some kind of a low-level digital input issue. This is strange. I should get a relay click for A or B. Well, it just started working. Doggone. There, it's working. So, like I said, I do have an MP3 connected to the VDP input, video display or video displayer. So if I go over to VDP, I get nothing. And I have the volume turned up on the MP3 all the way. So there's the volume level up all the way. I should get sound. And there it finally kicked in. Why does it take so freaking long? Volume works. Why does it take so long? Tuner, I should have sound by now. Something strange is going on. I think the first thing I'm going to try is a factory reset. So I'm going to need to get a service manual on this AVR-2802 and find out what the factory default reset is. So let me do that and I'll be back in one moment. Okay, so here is the reset procedure for this unit. Switch off the unit and remove AC cord from the wall outlet. Hold the following A button and B button and plug the AC cord into the outlet. Check that the entire display is flashing with an interval of about 1 second and release your fingers from the two buttons and the microprocessor will be initialized. If step 3 does not work, start over from step 1. All user settings will be lost and its factory setting will be recovered when the initialization mode. When this initialization mode. Okay, that's not an actual sentence. So make sure to memorize your settings for restoration after the initialization, okay? Okay, power has been removed. Holding down A and B, powering on, and it is flashing, release. So it's telling me input tuner, and let's just see if it has any presets that I can get. 90.1, that is a local station. Is there an enter button? Same thing. VDP input, still have an MP3 player connected. Audio is playing. Okay, this one's going to be a good one. Alright, so I have the top off of the unit, and what I'm interested in is this connector right here. And so let me go ahead and zoom in on that and get you positioned and get a flashlight. And you can see it has some voltage measurements on the board. And so I can see +6, -5 ground, +5, -12, +12, relay, ground, ground, and then the top 4 are all 5 volts. Hopefully I didn't get in the way too terribly much there. So let me get a voltmeter out with some pointy probes, and we'll get it set up over here, and hopefully you can see it right there. We'll put that on DC volts. Let me get a clip lead here. Yeah, I don't really care what color it is. We'll use red for ground in this case. So I've got my red connected to my black, and I'm just going to connect it to a chassis ground or one of the RCA jacks, which is what I typically use because it's normally chassis ground. You could also connect it to basically any metal piece like a heat sink or a bracket right here would work just fine. Okay, voltage in view. Okay, so the first one is labeled as positive 6 volts. And am I just not on it? I've got nothing. Speaker related click. Nothing. -5, and I do have -4.5. So that's ground. This should be +5, yes. -12, yes. +12, yes. Relay, ground, and then the top 3 are 5 volts. And I have 4.9. Why do I not have the positive 6 volts? Let me make sure I'm on that good. And I've got 0.001 volts. Okay, well, that's where I'm going to start. So, looking at these regulators, I've got a -12, a +5, another +5, a -5, and then a couple of big transistors. Kind of hard to see because they're actually back over here. Well, let me get the schematic for that portion of the unit, and we'll find out why we do not have our 6 volt. Is it +6? Yes, +6 volt supply. Okay, well, here's the schematic for the regulator portion of it. And right up here is the +6 volts. And if you follow that back, it goes to an open jumper and another open jumper, an open capacitor, which means they're not populated on the board, and then this IC904 regulator, which is not populated. Well, that would be the reason I don't have my 6 volts. Next, I want to try to figure out why I do not have a speaker B relay click when I turn on and off the B relay. So I need to find this connector CX131. You can see pin 3 is the front A relay, and then pin 6 is the front B relay. It has a center channel relay and a surround relay. So I want to put my probe on pin 6 right there on CX131 and see if I see a voltage change when I try to energize that relay. Okay, there is CX131 right there. Might be hard to read the numbers, but I'm interested. First, let's look at pin 3, which is the A speaker relay control. This is not the output, it's just the control to it. And what do I see? 1.3 volts. That seems off. Nope, my bad. Measuring from the wrong direction. Okay, so there is pin 3, 5 volts, and 0. So next I want pin 6. There's pin 6. And as I turn B on and off, I get no output. But if I turn A off, I get no output on B. I get a negative voltage, but something is clicking. So if I go back to pin 3, get my hand out of the way, it's energizing the A speaker relay when I'm turning on the B speaker relay. What is going on with this thing? That shouldn't happen. There's pin 3, speaker B on, speaker B off. There's pin 6, speaker B on goes to 0. Speaker B off has a negative voltage. There's speaker A on, same thing, goes to 0. And so there's A, B, A is off, only B is on, but it's not changing the actual speaker B control. And I believe that comes right from the microprocessor. I don't think anything is in the way of that. Okay, so this is the schematic for the master microprocessor. I guess it may have a slave microprocessor as well. And on, let's see, where was it? Front B relay, front A relay. And these just go up and they eventually connect directly to these pins right here. So I need to find that microprocessor and just verify basically powers and grounds, and maybe look at data if I can get access to it easily. Now the LEDs do work correctly, as you saw previously. When I press the button for A or B, the LEDs do respond appropriately. However, the speaker relays do not. So I thought I would start at basically the easiest avenue to search first, and I believe this is going to be it. So I need to find a board view of the board that has a microprocessor on it and see if I can easily access it. I think it's going to be on the bottom of a board, which is why I've got this thing basically flipped upside down right now. Let me zoom out just a wee bit. And I think it's going to live right here. So in order to access this board, I need to pull the guts completely out of this unit and then assemble everything basically standalone without the case attached to it on the bench. So let me try to find a board view and we will continue from there. Alright, let me first apologize for the background noise. I turned on the house fan. It's actually cooler outside than inside at this point. It's about 4 a.m. I'm up here working all night. Anyhow, here is a board layout of the board with the microprocessor on it, and it lives right here, and there is the crystal. So there is the crystal, and then there are the two dots basically for the air hole when they insert the microprocessor. So yeah, it lives on the bottom of the chassis, on the bottom of this board right here, exactly where I thought it was going to be. So in order to service this unit, I'm going to have to pull it to bits basically and assemble it upside down so I can actually get to the microprocessor, which I'm at a point where I think I can give the customer a fairly accurate estimate. It's going to be at least an hour of reassembly or disassembly and reassembly, plus troubleshooting, plus the time I've already got on it right now. So this guy might be looking at 3 or 4 hours. And then if it is a defective microprocessor, where do I go from there? I'd have to change the whole board basically, because I don't have the provision to program the new microprocessor even if I were to change it. So I think I'm going to end it right here. There might be multiple parts to this, I'm not sure. Everyone, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.